Good morning, YouTube. Benzo here, back on the creek. Hit that like before we get going. And I want to show you something really cool. Look at that, sluicing water. All right, I'm super stoked. Let's get at it. Welcome back, everybody. Benzo here with Chef V down on the creek. We're going to get at it today. We got two test pans. We're already seeing a little gold. Dueling test pans right here. Chef V's got a really nice test pan right here. Check this out. Wow. Look at all that. That is some chunky and some good colors.
Chunky.
Here's my first test pan.
On it.
There it is. Is that big piece of the day? We'll find out. That is pretty nice right here though. Wow. That's a good pan. So I'm going to dig a bucket of that material. It's heavy clay. Let me show you what the material looks like. Here's the material that I identified when I'm into the best stuff. You get some dirty soil and you get lumps of this clay that you're scraping up. And after the gray is the gray to the brown, you're looking good. But when it starts turning more orange, it starts getting a little less. But see, this is still the good orange, and it'll turn really slicky with no stones in it, and you don't really want that, just a waste of time. But this is really good material right here, full of large stones. And after you wash it, this is what it looks like. You get a wide array of stones, a lot of flat stones. Flat stones are good. But there was a little crystal in this one popped out. It wasn't clear, but I had some traces on it. Thing wants to argue with me all of a sudden. The crystal disappeared. Nice. Bucket number one. That's as full as I'm going to get it. They're pretty heavy. So I'm going to tote this on over and see if I can get a sluice box running. Action. So over here working on the sluice box. It took me about this whole run to get it right. Having reinforced, thought it was a lot of water. It was a little deep, had to build it up and just work on the water a lot. Down here close to the bottom, of course, this stuff is re-solidified down here. I'm going to have to break it up again, really move it around. But she's flowing. Now I do the work now on this one, and hopefully the other buckets will move faster. It is cleaning out better now. I had the situation where it's backing up on the back end. It's not enough flow, so I've been working on that. It's looking good now. Pretty level too at the moment. Let's get that gold. Look at that stuff. That's nasty. All right, here's that first run. Check this out. That's not even a full bucket, but these are pretty grainy pieces. Oh yeah, not a big piece like in that one test pan. That was nice. Another test pan didn't show much at all, but I panned everything into this little bucket, and we'll go through that some other time. It's gonna be fun. So who knows if a big old piece fell in there one day. Oh, wasn't that fun? What a difference an hour can make. It was a nice cool morning with a breeze, with rain coming down off the trees a little bit. And it got super hot and muggy really quick, and we're literally steaming out here. And so this time, since I spent all that time working on that spot and getting that sluice running right, I'm gonna go ahead and dig the 5 and the 4 gallon bucket and dig them up and run both and see if we can't double the gold. Working on these 2 buckets here. That clay is nasty and slow, but look what I found in the classifier this time. Wow, that's super clear. Wow, nice point too. It's not even really worn too much. That's probably one of the nicer points I found out here for sharpness and clarity. Awesome. Let's keep digging. Whoo, video update. This bad boy is like it was glued down at the bottom. I finally plucked it out. I'm just sitting here scraping off pounds and pounds of clay. I got 2 pans here I'm working on, and I still ain't got it all off. And this thing's hard to manage. It's a heavy rock. It's quite large, thick, round, heavy. So And I'm still finding huge pockets of clay on there. Ooh, look at that one. Nice. Let's pan a little of this, see if it's holding any gold. So there's that big rock. Here's the pan from on top of the big rock, and whoa, look at that piece of gold. We got some shape and some texture. That's looking odd. So what we're going to do is when Chef gets his big blue bucket cleaned out, we're going to put it in there and finish cleaning all that nice tasty goodness off of it, because it's covered. If there's any more pieces of gold hiding in that clay. Up here with Chef V, checking out his setup. His bucket matches his sluice. That's pretty cool. So we can have a little bit more flow here, but I like the way the RP just stages all that up like a hopper, and then it processes it through as it can. That's why you just put it there and it does the rest. The flow might be a little heavy on one side. That's from the water. So we'll do some tweaks here, get this thing purring. Well, that took a little longer than expected. Chef's already done with his, but let's zoom in here. Stream close up. VG in the sluice. A little piece there stuck on the side. And there's a little bit. But this usually doesn't hold much for you to look at unless it's quite large. Tailings are starting to back up a little bit, but it's looking good. Things are exchanging. Pretty sure it caught the gold. Let's go pan it out. Video update. Here's the second run. There's some chunky bits. That's not too bad. But my test pans towards the end, I couldn't find any gold in it. I think we're getting out of the pay streak line. So we got to regroup and figure out where that pay is. I think we overshot it and we need to come back towards the middle. But next, I'm going to put that rock in the bucket and clean that thing. Let's get it done. Chef V's test pan here. Check this out. Oh, I'll tilt that up a touch. Oh, man, look at that. That's a big piece of the day, I think. That is awesome. Check this out. Was it worth washing that rock? That's what was in the bucket for me washing that rock, and I didn't even get it perfectly clean, but I was able to wash some gold off of it. That was two nice pieces of gold on that big rock. But they were all in clay. Rock and roll. Here's the last cleanup. Let's do it together. See if there's any gold in here. Did we run out of pay? This third time I just went pretty much around that rock that I pulled out. That big rock. Oh, there's some gold. Oh, and a couple nicer pieces. Look at that. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get closer. There's some shape to those. Yeah, nice. Well, we can't dig no more. We already put a yard of rocks on top of the hole.
Incoming.
So hey, thanks for joining me and Chris V out on the creek today. He's doing stuff up right now. I got mine right here. Show you a little bit of gold. Fruits of our labor. It got white, hot, and muggy. There's worse stuff right now. We're just having to soak. And out of the water, we're heating up quick. So let's take a look at this. It's been a good day. All right, check this out. There's a nice crystal. We got our snuffer dump here. Got that nice crystal plus all this flaky gold. Some nice chunky bits in there. Got some shape to them. Oh yeah, those were fun finding today. Nice. You saw smiles over here. Check this out. Boom. Pretty sure you got a big piece of the day there with that monker. Look at that. That's awesome. There's some really grainy big bits. Awesome to see you get into it real good today. Look at that.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're loaded up. We got to pack out. We'll see y'all next time. Till then, get in the creek and get that gold.